Hello everyone and welcome to Sanity is Optional.
I'm Ricky.
And I'm Toby, and we're here to be your hosts for the rest of this trip of terrifying
Tomfoolery.
on the show tonight.
Jack's constructive rant.
The other news with Ricky.
The anticipated new silly songs with Toby.
And the Sanity is Optional quiz with Matt, the cheeriest person this side of Slough.
We must start this episode with an apology. A tall order for someone of my own massive ego. Whilst our first Sanity is Optional was met with a largely positive response, one member of our community has a very low opinion of our newsreel. We respect Harry Clayton's stance on this issue. Comedians of his stature are in chronically short supply. So today's other news will not contain a single bad joke. It will contain as many as we can possibly cram into an extremely small space. Take it away, Ricky!
Hello and welcome to the Sanity is Optional news. Top story this week. Russia has come up with a novel idea to deceive the enemy. Inflatable tanks, rocket launchers and jeeps. The Russian generals will be the first to deliberately blow up their own army. These decoys are 100 times cheaper than the real thing, saving a lot of money that can be spent on other, more important things. However, when the Russians next go into battle, I think they may be a bit let down that their weapons are flat pack. Productions of these inflatable weapons are ballooning in Russia, but it sounds like a load of hot air to me. One of Britain's most famous landmarks, the giant Uffington white horse, possibly carved by Saxons in the Dark Ages, could be a dog, says a vet after he saw the horse and declared that it was anatomically incorrect. This view has, however, been rejected by the National Trust, despite Mr. Swarbrick's insistence on changing the name to the Uffington Wolfhound. The National Trust says that it is just a representation of a horse, but there's no bones about it, it does not look like a horse or a dog. But don't have such a long face, it is still a fantastic piece of impressionist art, always cantering through history as a symbol of this great island race. Trouble is brewing for the biggest cup of tea, as it has just been picked by, surprisingly not, the Women's Institute in Surrey, but by a humble tea grower in Sri Lanka. In the mighty cuppa, there was 1,000 gallons of water, 1,411 pounds of tea, 1,929 pounds of malted milk powder, and 353 pounds of sugar. You'd need a pretty sweet tooth to drink that, not to mention a bottomless stomach and a large bladder. And finally, the world's shortest man has just celebrated his 18th birthday, being only 67.08 centimetres tall. He was presented with the certificate at his birthday party, after he had been given a cake twice his size. He declared that he would like to get married in the next 2 years, and he wants to get a big red car to drive around in. He does not consider himself a small man, but a big man, and he hopes that having this title will let people see him from a new angle and to provide for his family. He will be able to do this now, because he has just been given the job of ambassador for the Nepalese Tourist Board, advertising, presumably, himself.
And that was the news with Ricky. Now it's time for... oh, me. Deep breath, deep breath. Matt, I think an introduction is in order.
And now it's time for Silly Songs with Toby, the part of the show where Toby comes out and sings a silly song. Today, it's a parody of Violet Hill, written by himself. At least it's not Jack.
It was a long and dark December. From a head height I remember I didn't grow. Clearly I remember from their desks my friends were watching while I froze in oversized clothes. When your size is your protection, with a carnival of giants on show, it sucks to be low. If he eats meat, maybe I will grow. Was was a long and dark December when I ate cheese called Cathedral. It was harsh, I didn't grow far. I used to be able to hide well. I could hide in the bathtub where the soap marked me also. They gave me loads of tablets when I didn't grow off the ground with needles they'd poke till I'd grow. And if I use meat, maybe I will grow. I wanna be a 6 foot, not the captain of somebody which won't grow, won't grow. So if I eat meat, maybe I will grow. I took myself down to Violet Hill and I sat in the snow. All my life growth has been silent still. If he eats meat, maybe he will grow. If he eats meat, maybe he will grow.
Hey Toby, I've got a joke for you.
Oh really?
Well, there were these 4 monkeys and they were sitting in a tree, and then the first monkey fell out. Why do you think he fell out?
I don't know.
He died. Okay, now, then the second monkey fell out of the tree as well, but why did he fall out?
Did he die as well?
No, because he was tied to the first one. Now, the third monkey also fell out of the tree, but why do you think he fell out of the tree?
Was he tied to the second monkey?
No, they hit him on the way down. And then the fourth monkey fell out of the tree. And why do you think he fell out of the tree?
Did they hit him as well?
Peer pressure.
We've all felt it. Almost all of us are given into it at some stage. Every single one of us knows what it's like when we're pushed into something we know just isn't us. And is pretty stupid. A bit like falling out of trees. Last week, I had a bit of a rant at people who rebel. I have since come to the conclusion that it isn't always fully their decision. So, for the second time this show, I apologise. So, instead of taking the piss this week, I appeal. I appeal to those who peer pressure others. Just because you do things that is stupid doesn't mean other people have to. Not everyone has to be the same. And to those who feel under pressure, people do not remember those who go along with peer pressure. Stand up. Stand tall.
Shut the f*** up, Jack.
Stand. Remembered. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Jack. And now we have the Sanity is Optional quiz with me. And fortunately, I'm on the other side of Slough today, so that's alright then. Question 1. The galaxy we live in is called the Milky Way. It is shaped approximately like A. a round ball, B. a donut, C. a pretzel, or D. a flat spiral.
A flat spiral.
Flat spiral.
I'm gonna go with a pretzel.
No, Toby. The answer was D. a flat spiral. Well done, Jack and Ricky. Question 2. Unlike most other fish, sharks have no A. bones, B. teeth, C. gills, or D. liver.
Liver.
I'm gonna go with bones.
Teeth. No teeth.
The answer was A. bones. Question 3. The metal mercury, A, is the hardest known metal, B, is a liquid at room temperature, C is highly reactive, or D is extensively used in aircraft construction?
I'm going to say it's a liquid at room temperature.
I think it's a liquid at room temperature.
Given the safety record, I'm going to go with the airplanes.
The answer was B is a liquid at room temperature. Question 4. Kinetic energy is A. Life energy possessed only by living organisms, B. Only important at subatomic distances, C. Energy of movement, D. A rare form of energy sometimes observed in deep space.
A rare form of energy, sometimes observed in deep space.
A form of movement.
That life energy thing.
Yep, the answer was C. Energy of movement. And finally, question 5. Now this one you don't get the multiple choice options. What was there before the Big Bang?
An infinitely small point of matter with only the potential to exist.
Harry.
I'm going to go with both.
Well, if you said either Harry or what Jack said, you're probably right. And after analysing the results, I can come to conclude that the winner is Ricky!
Ricky!
Whoa!
Ricky!
Whoa!
Well, I think there was a lot of high quality stuff in that Sanity is Optional. And now I have the small duty of doing the end credits. That was Sanity is Optional, a 1024 production, featuring Matt Judd, Jack Stapleton, Ricky Goddard and Toby Penter. Remember, Sanity is optional, but not recommended. Unless you're a like Harry Clayton. Good night.